Welcome back to another edition of the Sick Podcast, Talking Titans. Jared's with me. We just got to get him in here, but we will do that momentarily. Nevertheless, we got one more week of this absolute shit show of a season to get through, and then it's on to 2024 and all the great things that we hope to see in that next coming season. So let's jump right into it. Start me out.
Turn up your volume. Because you're about to listen to The Sick Podcast. Talking Titans.
Ladies and gentlemen, 94 yards. Touchdown, Titans. He is the baddest man in the NFL, and he just took her to the house.
The sickest Tennessee Titans podcast.
Sick!
It's gonna be sick.
There he is.
I'm back.
We found him. It was good to get that one intro in just me, though, just in case.
A little solo action.
A little solo action. It hurt nobody. But yes, welcome back. Of course, everyone in the Sick Podcast, Talking Titans. I'm joined by Jarett. Vin might be jumping in halfway into this. He's got a little work thing he's finishing up. But as I mentioned in the intro, we got one more week of this disaster season to get through, and then we're on to the offseason of 2024. I guess the most current event that's been going on with the team as of now, or at least the topic that's on everyone's mind, is the situation with Mike Vrabel. There's a lot of noise going on from the podium, from Twitter or X, whatever you want to call it, about some turmoil that's going on within the organization and the locker room. Now, some people are just crying fake news, one of which might be in the show right now, but nevertheless, where there's smoke, there's fire, at least where I come from. So I don't know. Let's get more an in-depth description of what you think's going on here, Jarett, and what you think the solution will be.
Well, first off, let's roll this clip because it'll be more of what our audience is going to be talking about so we can dive into it. So, Shane, roll that clip for us.
I don't because, again, if we believed everything that was on social media, it'd be Santa Claus and the Easter Bunny and the Tooth Fairy and all that. So I really have never responded to any of those, and we're not going to start now. I know where we're at as an organization. I'm excited to build this thing and to fix this thing and get it to where we want it to be, to win championships with Rand and Chad and A-Rob and a coaching staff and everybody. I mean, that's what our goal is. So, but no, the social media and where that is, I can't focus on that.
Yeah. Well, I'll tell you what, if I believed everything that was on the internet, I would have thought that we had some fucking depth on this team this year and we wouldn't be an absolute embarrassment. But, not everything you see on the internet is true. So
it's the truth. There's a lot of clickbait out there. I mean, who people are trying to rush the stories, breaking stuff, especially with Jason Locafora, who's a schmuck. I'm personally not going to believe anything he says anymore. So, of course, there's a lot of turmoil with Belichick leaving New England. He's got an emergency meeting on Monday. Who knows what he's going to go after? Vrabel says he's staying here. I solely believe it. I mean, we could start rumors between me and you right now. We can go on our Twitter right now and say, got sources, Vrabel's leaving. You could say sources, he's not leaving. I mean, that's why I'm not believing anything, and I solely believe that Vrabel's here to stay. Maybe not all of next year. If it goes this bad next year, I'm going to be solely out on it. But like I said, I'm full go with the whole rebuild.
3 years in a row.
No, not 3 years in a row.
Will be
you're a football fan. I'm going to still stay on it. I mean, there's people throwing a million stats out this whole week of the roster that's been really bad recently. We've been dealt with injuries. It's ridiculous. No coach can survive it. I understand what your argument was with Mike Tomlin and Jim Harbaugh. I mean, clearly those rosters are way better than us. I mean, after we fell off the Taylor Lewan, the Ben Jones, the Roger Saffold, the Jack Conklins of the world, the Dennis Kellys of the world of the offensive line, we couldn't draft offensive limenmen, homegrown talent, like you said or Vince said last show that we were on. Happy New Year, by the way, to all of our listeners as well. We couldn't seem the replacements for those guys, and now I'm starting to believe that we may go left tackle in this draft. But that's draft talk. We're not there just yet.
Yeah.
But I solely believe that Mike Vrabel is going to be the head coach of this football team going forward next year. And I think he cleared waves and airwaves, especially with that clip. I mean, we don't have that clip right now, but I was in a meeting as well when he said that it fucking sucks to lose. Clearly, you see the fire in him. And, he apologized in the press conference, in that same press conference we just showed about his language. But I just love seeing that as a head coach, as a father. I would be just as pissed off if my kids weren't doing as great in sports as you, if you weren't doing good at work. Just to see that fire and care, because you guys been saying it, that he doesn't care. He looks lackadaisical, which I agree with you, that he does look lackadaisical on the podium. Because you know what? Losing does suck.
I don't think he doesn't care. I haven't said. Oh, I have said that before, but I haven't said that recently. Yeah, no, I think he cares. I don't think he wants to lose. I just think he's a good coach, and he's upset about the situation that he's in because he can't coach anybody up. He can't develop any fucking players on either side of the ball. He has no depth on his team, and everyone and their mother, luckily, is giving him the benefit of the doubt. That because the roster is so poor, in which he had a very big hand in creating, that's why he can't succeed. And luckily, there's enough fans that are sipping on the Kool-Aid, that it's because of the lack of talent on this roster that we can't take the final step. And not realizing that part of the pieces that are preventing us from taking the final step are the likes of Todd Downing and Tim Kelly, etc., are Mike Vrabel decisions.
I'm not cutting you off because we always do this on the show.
Yeah,
so you could slap me right in the face whenever you want to cut me off right now too. But that's the kids upstairs too.
I want to make sure it wasn't like some of your computer.
Nah. If you guys hear the background noise, it's the kids upstairs.
You're good.
I got no help on it. But what were we just talking about?
We were talking about Vrabel and how he didn't have a hand in any of the pieces that were brought in here.
So the Tim Kelly situation, like I said, I'm not fully out on Tim Kelly just yet. Yes, it was a bad year. Yes, we had ups and downs with the offensive line. When you protect your quarterback and he gets blitzed and sacked 50% of his time on dropbacks, and we have a tackle and both tackles and our centers that have let up 25 sacks, and our center is the most pressures allowed in the league. I mean, what are you working with when you're dropping back? That's why Vrabel said,
hold on, Steelers are in the playoff race with Kenny Pickett, dude. I don't want to hear it, man.
Mason Rudolph. I understand that whole fact with that, okay? But when you look at the statistics of our wide receivers, which shocked the hell out of me, again, because people are throwing out stats this week, our separation and our yards, our yak yards and yards per route are top 5 in the league. So he's scheming up the plays. It's just either the quarterback is not getting the ball to them, which is not Tim Kelly's fault, 1, and 2, it's the line not giving the quarterback enough pressure. I mean, not giving the line's not giving the quarterback enough time to throw the ball.
There's no stats that are going to tell me that it's the right fucking decision to run the ball on every first down, Jared.
I am totally agreeing with you on that. Yes,
there needs to be
more play action.
Calling.
There needs to be more play action. Like Vrabel said in that press conference yesterday, I forgot who asked it. I don't know if it was Terry or Jim Wyatt or any of the reporters out there. I'm sorry. But they said, instead of running the ball on first down, why not scheme up plays to throw the ball, more play action? He said, well, to win in this league, we're not going to be a team where we're going to sit back and drop back, which fans love. We want to see it. I want to see it too. But you got to be able to run the football at times, not all the time.
Jarett, come on. I know you want to disagree with me.
Sal, I'm not disagreeing with you at all.
How fucking egregious is that statement, dude?
No, I'm not saying run the ball constantly. I want to be like Kansas City, Isaiah Pacheco on certain
They have an elite quarterback who throws the ball 35 times a game.
Of course, I want to be like that now that we have Will Levis.
We're still not doing that. We're still running the ball 30 times a game.
In respect to Derrick Henry, who knows if it's his last game?
Now we're back to respecting Derrick Henry.
Who knows what their game plan is?
Or do we want to just make
this year was over?
This
year was over 3 games ago.
That's another thing too. Is people saying, "Oh yeah, I want to win for Derrick Henry last home game." No, we don't. Are you fucking nuts? We have a chance to be a top 5 pick. And you're worried about Derrick Henry's last home game? Who gives a fuck, man? This is the stuff that drives me insane. I'm sorry, folks, and I care more than you. I'm sorry for the people in the chat that call me a diva, this, that, blah, 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 blah. I care. I have this team's logo tattooed on my fucking body. I give a fucking shit. I want to win a Super Bowl. We need to win. We need to throw. We need to be a progressive offense like the rest of the elite teams in this football league. We've tried to be this ground and pound team for the last fucking 20 years. It's gotten us to a Super Bowl fucking a century ago. It's not going to happen anymore. It's not. You know it, Jarett.
Well, I know it, but listen, when you can't just throw the ball 75 times. So when he's saying that, and as football fans and guys that break down film and do podcasts and everything, you have to be able to run the ball at least 17 to 20 times a game and throw the ball at least 30 to 40 times.
You know how you're able to do that, Jarett? By being different, by being creative.
Yes.
You're going to be able to throw the ball when you're going to be able to throw the ball when they're expecting the pass. You're going to be able to pass the ball when they're expecting the run.
Yeah,
when
all you balanced and
complementary almost thing every week at the same point of the game every week, it's not going to allow either of those things to happen. It's common sense. When everyone on this spinning rock knows we're running the ball on first down, how is that going to help the passing game? It's never going to help the passing game.
That was a big
now you're always going to have 2 downs only to throw the ball. You're never going to have to worry about 3 downs to throw it.
I was the big advocate always for the first down play action. I love that.
Well, it's not changing, Jarett.
Well, now we'll see what happens next year. This you could throw this all out next year. I want to see what, and we have this whole off season after the show. We're going to have Black Monday. We're going to see what Vrabel actually does, or if Vrabel can be canned. We already know that it's not going to happen. Amy already said it, but who knows? We'll see what happens. If he fires one of his coaches, he already fired Craig Ackerman. We'll see if Shane Bowen goes, if a secondary coach goes, which I highly doubt it because Chris Harris he brought in from Washington and was a highly.
So you think no one's gone? You think no one's gone?
I don't want to break that down just yet until Monday.
Jarett,
show.
we have 2 seasons of embarrassment football.
I'm not saying anything about it. I want to watch this game, and I want to make. I don't want to bring this into an off-season show right now. Monday, we can break down the whole entire roster. We can break down the whole entire coaching staff. We can break down the game. I just want to focus on the Vrabel, the game.
I know,
and we'll see what happens.
But you're saying out loud how you don't know if you want to get rid of this guy. Everyone should be gone.
I'm just saying in general. In general, I don't know what's going to happen.
Everybody's worried about Levis having to deal with another coordinator. I think Levis wants to fucking throw the football and be a quarterback. That's what I think he wants. I think he wants to be protected. So why don't we focus on protecting the quarterback, and we can focus on
getting him
weapons and being more of a – yeah, of course. But
because there's one weapon on that team that he's throwing the ball to, and I don't give a shit. People can come after me saying, "Oh, well, Cheek turned it on. Cheek turned it on. He could be the best tight end in franchise history." Which, when I read that, I almost puked. That he could be the first franchise tight end in franchise history to reach 1,000 yards in two seasons. I don't know how that's possible, but whatever. It's very quiet from him. We need playmakers surrounding Will Levis so we can air it out. Okay, this is where I'm coming with you. I'm not disagreeing with you at all. I just say we have to run the ball, but we have to throw it in this league. We have Tajay Spears, who complements the prototypical running back in the NFL today. I'm not guaranteeing anything about.
You're contradicting yourself because Mike Vrabel's never going to be that coach. You just said he admitted it.
He
got to be a team that runs the football.
Runs the football and throws it. You have to be complimentary. So when what you just said, when you expect to run, not right now.
He's not been complimentary since he's been a football coach in the NFL. So why do we expect it to happen all of a sudden? In the 6 years he's been the coach, we've never had complimentary football. We've been a run-first offense no matter who we have. A.J. Brown, Julio Jones, doesn't matter. Since he's been the coach of the Titans, we've been run first, win the game at the end every single year. Why now in year 7 do you believe that everything's going to change? It's not. He brings the same fucking people in every year, his buddies that he can be you can use as puppets, and they can do the same thing. Downing, Kelly, Arthur Smith, the fucking guy from Green Bay. Did they have success here and there? Sure, because they had superstar players. It doesn't mean their philosophy was kind of old and used and doesn't work. And it's true. That's why Atlanta has the worst fucking offense in the league, and Green Bay can't get anything consistent going. Because it's just the same philosophy every year. Run. win possession. I mean, it's just.
Well,
it's
I wouldn't say we were. Yes, listen. We had a generational running back. We could still have him. I don't know yet. We had a generational running back. You're going to give him, obviously, the rock, especially. Derrick Henry had 2,000 yards, and both of our receivers at the time, Corey Davis and A.J. Brown, had 1,000-yard receiving years. So we threw the ball and ran the ball. That's complimentary in football in my eyes. So I think they want to get back to that point. But then again, we had nobody. We had DeAndre Hopkins, a 30-year-old wide receiver who was still great with 1,000 yards this year. Throwing with pairing it up with the run game with Derrick Henry. So if they stack the box with him and triple DeAndre Hopkins, that's the game plan against the Titans this year. That's why I'm saying we have to surround him. Like I agree with you, surround him like Vin always says with an offensive line. You build the offensive line and you surround him with weapons, like you just said. We are going to do better next year, and I solely believe that with $100 million and us picking anywhere from 4 now to 8. Depending on this weekend.
Yeah,
so it's a very exciting offseason it's going to be.
That is absolutely monstrous.
Absolutely.
To be 4 and 8 is a huge difference in this
draft class. Yep.
Huge difference. So everyone who's like, it could be Derrick Henry's last game. I'm rooting for him to win. I don't give a fuck. We need to lose the game. If you want to win a Super Bowl anytime in the next millennium, we need to lose this game. Like point blank, especially a team that cannot draft predominantly has a lot of trouble drafting. Like, no. It just can't happen, guys. I'm sorry. I wish Derrick Henry will stay. I hope he'll take $6 million next year, and be like a 5 to or 10 to 15 year guy, because Spears has to be the focal point of the offense next year. That goes without saying. A fucking blind person can see it. It's just like, we've been waiting for change for year after year after year, and we make ourselves believe the change is going to come, right? So Ryan Tannehill is going to take another step, or he's going to let the demons go, and then he doesn't do it. Okay, one more year, the last ride. He's a joke. He gets hurt. Will Levis comes in. Turns out he's actually better. Turns out he should have started from day one. Okay, we let that go. We didn't get upset at anyone. We'll say that it's because of the offensive line being so bad that we would never think to put the rookie in there first. That's bullshit. They didn't know Levis was better, and they stepped in shit and found out because they had fucking Malik as the second guy up until the time that Tannehill got hurt. And now we're just going to be content that we're going to figure it out again. Vrabel's going to figure it out. He's going to find the right guy at coordinator. He's going to find the right fucking talent in offensive line. Develop them. I'm done waiting, dude. Look at these other coaches. Like, it's happening like this. Detroit happened like this.
Well, I said, they had a ton of money that offseason when Dan Campbell came in, and they had a ton of draft picks. We can do that.
You know what Detroit also
we can turn it around in 1 year.
Football.
Absolutely. And now we have that gunslinger. And we have that gunslinger now. Surround him with talent.
We didn't do it with him for fucking half of the year this year.
Burks ain't it. Nick Westbrook-Akina, he could be wide receiver 4. Shake ain't it. We need a T. Higgins, and we need the wide receivers in this draft class. I know you guys don't watch a lot of college football. You have Xavier Worthy out there. You have Troy Franklin out of Oregon. You got a ton of guys.
We can't miss, though, Jarrett.
Absolutely not. There's so much talent in this draft
at wide receiver in this draft. And whoever it's going to be, whether it's going to be pick number 1 or pick number 2, because my hand to God, if it is not number 1 or 2 in this draft, there is going to be hell to pay, unless they're planning on giving Hopkins an extension and giving Higgins a blank check. If they're not planning on doing either of those things, then pick 1 or 2 better be receiver. And whichever one's going to be receiver, it cannot be another Treylon Burks. It cannot be a fucking Dez Fitzpatrick. It cannot. It cannot be another Kendall Wright, Corey Davis. No. That is why I'm skeptical about using another top 10 pick on a lineman when we don't even know if our top 10 lineman of last year is worth a damn. We don't know. PFF is telling us he's not. We think that he is. God willing, we find out next year he is. But I'm very skeptical about it. And it ain't about just being flashy and Marvin Harris. We need a young receiver to grow with this kid in this new stadium that's going to be here for a decade. And there is maybe 2 guys that is like shooting a giant fish in a small barrel. And that's just my opinion. But I don't know as much as you in college football. But if they're going to take another one of those guys that is, a wide receiver in a deep draft, I don't want to deal with the risk of them not being good.
Now, listen, I'm a fan just as much as you. I want that. I still want to save it for another show for the offseason because I still want to keep online on week 18 because I have a lot to say about the draft, how I would fix the line, who I would go after, just as much as you guys want to talk about the draft in the offseason. Like I said, it's going to be exciting as hell covering this team in the offseason, bringing in a ton of guests, a ton of fans. Because you guys know we have all the best reporters, Jim Wyatt, we have Kayla Anderson, we have TD coming on the show. Brett Dowtry likes to come on too as well. So we're going to bring in everybody this offseason. So buckle up for yourselves because it's going to be a hell of a ride this offseason.
Yeah, absolutely. It's going to be a hell of a ride. And all I hope is that, there's a lot of change. That's it. That's all we can just to keep it simple, hope for a lot of change. Where the change is going to come, I'll leave that up to Rand and Amy, considering hopefully that they have the most say in this whole thing instead of Vrabel, because my money is on Vrabel has the most say in this whole fucking franchise, which is, if it is the case, then I think you would have to say, Jarett, he needs to go if he does have the most say, because we're going on back-to-back embarrassing years. Would you agree that if it comes out that he is the ringleader here, that he should take a fucking walk? Can you say that on the show?
Oh yeah, if that's the case, but that like I said, that's why I'm still giving it another year. Vrabel's a great coach. You hear it all over the place. Yes, the roster. That's why I keep going back to the roster. Kayla has said it. Teron Davenport has said it as well. The roster has hindered so many things over here. The draft picks. I forgot who posted the stat. I think 39% or 40% of the draft picks in the recent years are not even on active rosters anymore.
You know who can say that, though, Jarett? You know who has a right to say that? Frank Reich, okay? Frank Reich got fired half of a year into his tenure in Carolina because his team was abysmal and he had no talent around him. Okay, Mike Vrabel is about to enter his 7th year, right? Am I correct? His 7th year? His 7th year as head coach. Why and how are we making roster excuses as to why he is not a good coach? I don't understand this. I genuinely don't. Would you be making excuses for Bill Belichick in his 40th year as Patriot head coach that his roster isn't good enough? I don't think so. So why is it that Mike Vrabel gets this crutch to lean on that his team he's had control of the better part of a decade isn't good? It just blows my mind. And we're only going to lay blame on the past general manager as to how many woes this team has. It's mind-blowing to me. I don't care how much you like the guy or not. I mean, it's just kind of nuts to me. But if you're right and there's nothing we can do,
listen, I'm talking just like you, just like we're on this podcast. I have my opinion, Vin, you, everybody has their opinion. The truth is in that building. So who knows? Like I said, Kayla, we bring all the best guests in. Like we said, they said that they didn't mesh well. Maybe that was the case, and John Robinson had more say, and Vrabel didn't like it, and he wanted to work together more. Or it could be the opposite. I don't know. You don't know. Vin doesn't know. Anybody doesn't know what happened on in that building. I don't know. That's why I'm saying I respect your opinion. I respect Vin's opinion and my opinion as well, just because that's what makes this opinion, Jarett. I'm not talking about that. That's why what makes this show great, because me and you go at it. Me and Vin go at it. You and Vin go at it. We all have our opinions, and we all try to cohesively come together, or we don't come together at all. That's why I love talking to you guys, because whether people like it or not, find us entertaining, which a lot of people find us entertaining. It's because we care solely about this football team. Yeah, it's just plain and simple.
And you know what else? It's also a really good way to show people, like, because it's a big problem right now, not just in sports, just in general in the world. If you disagree with somebody, it's okay. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, you would never know it on Twitter, because, you disagree with someone and then they say that you're a fucking asshole, die slow, shit like that. And then we do it on a weekly basis. I call Vinny Stevie Wonder with his eye rolls and everything, and we pick back up like nothing happened. That's just the way it's supposed to be. And if you're a good-hearted person that isn't a jackass, that's how it always is. You argue about something, but when you're part of something big, the big part of what you're in is what matters more than just individual. And that's how we look at it. We're fans. We're all fans. We're all in this together. We all want to hug each other and cry when the Titans win a Super Bowl, right? We don't want to feel like, absolutely. There's fans in this fan base, literally, that watch this show and are commenting on this show every week that would rather say, told you, Sal, Vrabel could win a Super Bowl. Don't turn around now if we won, rather than just being excited. There's miserable people out there, and that's the unfortunate thing, because they try to ruin that moment for me just because I was upset at our head coach allowing our team to be abysmal for 2 calendar years. But with that being said, let's get into score. Jarett, kick it off. What are you thinking this week against those Jaguars?
Listen, I can see the Titans pulling this off. Yes, I totally agree with you on that. Just because when I listened to Vrabel's press conference yesterday, and he said, "Listen, they played spoiler to us. We were in this predicament last year. We win. We're in the playoffs. They're coming to Nashville now. They win. They win the AFC South. They host a playoff game. If they lose,
difference is we would have made the playoffs."
Yes, I understand. Now they can win with a win. We can knock them out on our home turf. It could be Derrick Henry's last game, like you said. Vrabel said he doesn't give a shit. He wants to go out on a positive.
You want them to win, don't they?
I don't. Let me finish. I don't want them to win. Of course, if this was a game on the line, I want them to win. Obviously, yes. But do I see it? Depending on the quarterback situation, because we don't know yet. There's a lot of incentives for this game, with Arden Key needing a sack for an incentive, DeAndre Hopkins to go over 30 or 50 yards for incentives. But I'm still picking the Jaguars to win this game. But it's going to be close. I think it's going to be another 24-20 game, depending on the quarterback. Listen, I'm going to give you 2 predictions. If it's Ryan Tannehill starting this game, it's going to be 24-16. If it's Will Levis playing this game, I think it's going to be 24-20 or 24-21 Jaguars.
Wait, so you think if Will Levis plays, we'll score more points?
Listen, I said that on the show multiple times. That
never gets old.
I know when this offense has Will Levis, it brings a different dimension, a different swag to it, and it clearly from the beginning of the season, our point total was I think 16.9. With Will Levis starting now, it jumped up to like 18.6 or something. So clearly, it's an advantage with him, and plus we scored 28 points with Will Levis, 3 out of his how many games he started. So yeah, I'm in on it right now.
Well, it sounds like you want him to play. I don't want him to fucking
play. I don't. That's why I said if he does, I don't sit him, rest him, full go next year.
Yeah. I mean, I love his fire and desire to win, to play, but he can't play. He just cannot play. If he does, I'll be forced to watch the game because I will not miss a Will Levis start for the rest of my life.
I cannot watch him get crushed by an offense.
But I will not watch Ryan Tannehill play because the Titans are supposed to bring me joy. That is the only reason why they are the most important thing to me outside of family, health, friends, and career. But they cannot bring me joy with a 5-win season going into Week 18. Ryan Tannehill starting. So. And if by chance they do well, performance-wise, then that would just be an even more miserable feeling because it's putting us farther away from an opportunity to get a franchise-changing player at whatever position it would be. Because you could say what you want, the higher you are up in the draft, the better chances you are of getting a player that's going to change your franchise. So that's just the reality of the situation. I do not think Levis is going to start, and I'm going to say a prayer tonight that he doesn't. So I'm going to assume Tannehill plays. If he does, I think the final score is going to be 24-10. Obviously, Jacksonville needs this game. They're much better team, top to bottom, including coaching. So yeah, that's where I'm going. 24-10. They take care of business just like they did last year. This time in our building.
It's going to be a sour taste in everyone's mouth with 10 points as the final season. But, like I said,
Black Monday is not going to be a surprising feeling in
anyone's
mouth.
No, it's not. But Black Monday is right around the corner. who knows what happens. So the offseason's almost here, Titan fans. We'll see what happens.
We'll see. Last thing I want to say before we go, I don't have any personal vendetta against Mike Vrabel. Anyone who's followed me on social media or this show knows, just like Ryan Tannehill, there were plenty of moments when I was fully invested and had their back 120%. But every camel has a hump, and we're over the hump on both of these dudes, and I can't do it anymore. So that's just the way it is. I respect you guys for continuing to support him. I don't think there's any reason why you should be egregious and disrespectful to anyone who doesn't support him, because there's plenty of evidence to show that it wouldn't hurt to give maybe something else a different shot. So with that being said, guys, hope everyone had a fantastic New Year's Eve and a great start to the new year. We'll be back next week to wrap up the regular season and get right into that off season. Hope everyone has a wonderful rest of your night. Great day, great week. And as always, tighten up. Send me out, Shane.
And that's a wrap. Hope you don't miss us too much until next time. Follow the Sick Podcast Talking Titans on YouTube, Instagram, Facebook, Google Play, and Apple Podcasts.